Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey Jim.
Speak with your girl, Marcella, Marcella, Marcella. Speak with your girl, Marcella, Marcella, Marcella. Speak with your girl, Marcella, 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 Marcella. Speak with your girl, Marcella. Speak with your girl, Marcella, Marcella.
Hey Jims. Hey Jims. I came on early because I got something to do. But I'm gonna let people come on in. And while I do that, I'm gonna show y'all my new page that y'all need to go like and subscribe to. Here it go. Hey Jims.
Drop it down. You better do your see. Play a cast.
Hey, listen, I'm coming on today because I'm going to clear things up crystal clear. I don't want y'all to leave away from here not understanding what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I care about, what I don't care about. Um, y'all all hit the like button. Oh no 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 no. We ain't gonna talk about the lawsuit. Like my attorney said, when our thing just hit the docket now, it should be today or tomorrow. I don't have to do any more talking about it because I'm being represented. Okay. So all my paperwork is pro se. And when I need to go to where the Missouri, then my lawyer will speak for me. But I want to tell y'all that me and Tim took the entire weekend and just celebrated one another. There is a lot going on, and I can see the worryation in my husband's head about, like Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, people not being able to eat, what we can do to help our community, what we need to do to help ourselves, you know, not even being scared, but making sure our paperwork was right in case something happened to me and him. We want to make sure that our families are being taken care of. We just, you know, stayed in the bed half a day on Saturday. That is my husband and my boyfriend. And what that terminology means is that you're married and you're still dating like y'all are boyfriend and girlfriend. But there is a such thing. So when Miss Wanda says that her husband is her boyfriend, and I don't know why people take that out of circumvention, but that is her saying that. But why we on this thing with Miss Wanda? The lawsuit, I ain't talking about. My paperwork will hit the docket. I believe that's going to be my last piece of paperwork. And it's going to spawn into another investigation. But that's here or there, nor there. What I want to say is Miss Wanda did a live, I think 2 days ago. And she had some eggs. And she was coming at folk about, now this was the topic. The topic was about people who said that the show was not returning. What she did was all fun and games, okay? It began to get serious, okay? Chef Don Don had every right to say something to Miss Wanda because She said his name. Miss Wanda is no fool. Miss Wanda knows if she put out people name, they gonna say something back, and she can defend herself. Miss Wanda is in a position that she is an influencer, content creator, blogger, whatever you want to call her, that she didn't ask nobody to fight a battle for her because it all was fun and games. Hold on. So Miss Wanda can defend herself. Now, we got some friend police around here. Now, y'all know I drop names Lady Rowe and S. Arbor and Butterfly. You know, these are the friendship police. Now, like I explained to y'all, and y'all know that I'm very passionate about Miss Wanda because we have a real friendship where, not just on YouTube, not just on talking on the phone. I'm here. She's been in my home. I've been in her home. We've traveled. Miss Wanda and our friendship, frankly, is nobody's business. But I'm not a mod for her anymore. My hands are full with my own page, with real life, with I have a wrench for Anthony Loptes, which he will be on. I have a wrench for Terrence. I have a wrench for the lead attorney. I have plenty of wrenches out here. They take that wrench ship too serious, okay? Too serious. You're taking the wrench ship, okay? And you're not even a good mod because for her to get 1,942 views, she only got 180 likes. So the mod job is to not be going back and forth with a spectator, which when I come into Miss Wanda's chat, I am a spectator. I am a subscriber. I'm not there to go back and forth with no bum fish breath bitches. I'm not there for that. I'm there to look at the content, hit my like button. I ain't in there to tussle back and forth with nobody for Miss Wanda. Because guess what? When I've been going through this, have anybody helped me? Have anybody, well, let me take that back. Prosperity Thick Girl, I have to say this. I didn't see it until this morning because I was asleep. But Prosperity Thick Girl went in there and explained, they were coming for me in that chat. S. Arbor comes for me in Terrence chat. But see, this is the difference with Terrence's chat. I am there to mod, to make sure people are not disrespectful to the host, which is Terrence. You can say what you want to say about me, but it's what I believe about myself. I'm not going to fight here for hot tea for Miss Wanda. I can fight here for hot tea for myself. I'm not going to fight true tea for Miss Wanda. I can fight that for myself. I happen to be accused of being a millimeter, which is the stupidest thing in the world that I would be a millimeter if that really existed. This is a group of people who support her, and I support Wanda, so I guess I'm a Wanda meter. But the thing is, the people who support Mel and I happen to be on a very serious lawsuit. So, quite naturally, we will communicate because of that lawsuit. But am I going to team up with Miss Wanda to go after them? Absolutely not. Because last I looked, I had one back, this one. And this is the one that I plan on having. But Miss Wanda knows if you say something about Camarel, Chef Don, they have the right to answer back. And if they answer back, really, it should just be on these YouTube streets. It should not dwindle into somebody's world where the police is involved. And that's what's going on. I can tell you right now, yes, I am almost 60 years old. Two, you said that I'm too old to be, doing what I'm doing. But guess it just shows you that the 60 is the new 40, baby. And that is me. 60 is the new 40. I told y'all these situations would not be as bad if the subscribers did not get involved. If I cuss out Anthony, he has the right to cuss me out. You know, I've seen you go back and forth with S. Albert in the chat, and I've seen other mods just rise above it. Yes, and I have. But I've decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore. I mean, I did call her a batch yesterday. And but then I get to thinking that I don't know S. Arbor, and I really don't care about what she say, but I just need to sometimes prove a point that you say something to me, I am knowledgeable enough for shit to roll off my tongue. And while you lying on me, calling me names and all kind of stuff, I can tell the truth about you. If I come out, I can tell the truth about people with receipts. I mean, pictures and everything. And I'm just right now, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to jump back into my content, my comedic content. And I don't talk about bloggers. I never did until this shit just arose. I start talking about bloggers, but I'm going back to that. And I'm going to support whoever I want to. And if anybody want to come into my chat and support me, I'm not going to shun anybody. If S. Arbor was to come over here, which I blocked that bitch, but if she was to come over here, I'm gonna let her say what she want to say because S. Arbor can't give me a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to pick your battle. You got to pick your battle in here. Every time you say you're not going to talk about it, well, you know what? I'm human, Michelle. I'm human. Um, I'm human, and you can only be tapped but so many times. I'm human, Michelle, and I believe this is respectful that you're saying to me, and I appreciate you liking me, but it's just too much going on in the real world. In the real world, so much has happened since Friday that we need to pay attention because I'm going to tell you something. This rock is a boulder. And when it hits the ground, it's that pebble's going to hit everybody, such as their insurance. Yes, I have a new page. I will be teaching financial literacy. I am trying to wait till I get to 400 subscribers, and then I will be able to get me a community page where I can post letters and stuff that you need and health stuff and how long vegetables last and stuff like that. But I'm not above the mess. I can get messy, and y'all know that. But for the longest, I have tried to get away from my image of being the bad girl of YouTube. But people respect that. Yes. People respect that. Matter of fact, Carmen Apple, y'all need to get y'all phones up. But I want y'all to know what Miss Wanda's going through with the bloggers. That's Miss Wanda. I am not coming up here and I'm not going to be fighting for anybody else. When Miss Wanda is capable of fighting for herself and being a blogger, content creator, influencer, she can do that for herself. But I do want you to know moving forward, I will be calling names. Yes, yes. Sassy Brown said yes. That Miss Arbor uh, was definitely being a troublemaker. And guess what? Miss Wanda said what she said. Miss Wanda said Marcella is welcomed here. She is a guest here. And like I said, our friendship don't need to be explained to anyone. What we talk about, we don't discuss it with nobody. We don't tell this person, she don't tell this person. She can, Butterfly could be her mod all she wants. I'm not jealous of not being a mod for somebody. I'm with Terrence. I'm with Anthony. I'm with the TLA. Listen, I am trying to move above and beyond. I'm not gonna tap nobody who don't tap me. You tap me, I'm coming back. Don't be calling me big back sideways looking this and this and this, because when you do, I'm going to make sure that when I hit you back, it's going to be with real stuff. I mean, real stuff. And y'all know me. He's a subscriber go from content. Yes, the subscribers go from content to content, causing problems. But like I did hear True T say last week, this is really going too far. Um, and I understand why she's saying that, because now she is involved in this court case too. But it wasn't going too far when Mite and Uppity, all of us is included in this court case. Maurice, YouTube, Google, all these people. But it's going too far now, and it's time to ignore them. I'm going to try my best, and guess how? Let me tell you what kind of woman I am. Miss Jones, if you see me getting out of line, out of pocket, tap me and say, come back, Marcella. I can take constructive criticism. But sometimes, girl, I will sit on something and it's got to come back. But um, you get confused. I just get confused on the whole beef that you guys had going, because you keep bringing people in that you said that lie that were in the mix before. I don't quite understand that. You have to be a little laser specific. I just get confused on the whole beef. Beef with who? Who is the beef with? Who are you guys? Because you keep bringing people in that you said that lie that were in the mix before. Let me see. I appreciate that, cause I'm not coming off. No, you're not coming off disrespectful or mean spirited. But sometimes when you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, I bring it to the front, because see, I'm not in people's back chats. I don't do that. You're not gonna have nobody to be able to bring out a text message DM that I did, because I don't do that. What I got to say, I bring it right here. And like I said again, we're gonna get back to business, because that's what my page is for. Okay. I answered it. Hey, Davita, the Love and Marriage Huntsville sector has become another beef sector, and it has absolutely have. And guess what? When this show come on, it should not be as controversial. If you gonna watch the show, watch it. I mean, if you're not gonna watch it, you don't have to announce it. But everybody's gonna watch the show. Um, I know their fave is gone, but guess what? Now you're gonna hear more criticism of the cast. But it's still gonna get talked about. People are going to get it and put it behind the scenes. We're going back to business, because there is so much that we need to know right now that's happening. Like I am telling you, 12 million will be uninsured if this tax bill, Trump tax bill, passes. um, you know, Medicaid, SNAP, rollback on clean energy. They're building a prison in the Florida Everglades that is surrounded by alligators, and they're going to call it Alligator Alcatraz. Now, I'm going to tell you something. We can be some nasty folk, but baby, this is uncivilized what they plan to do. And they said it would just be for immigrants. But today, they're looking at Afro Americans as immigrants. You're getting people from our country that was born, raised here, cornbread fed, being sent out of their home, this country. I'm so glad I'm not confused. It's really too much going on in the real world to be disturbed by people, is to be distributed by people who have too much time on their hands. Woo child. Going to make it hard and very difficult, sad situation all around. It's going to be, because in Virginia, there's so many children have lost their insurance. Now they have free dental, their hearing got to be checked, their eyes got to be checked. They're cutting SNAP, which is food stamps, and they're already starting. And listen, I'm not a Bible thumper, but I can tell you this: The book of Revelation is being seen right now. We got a lot that's going on. This country is getting ready to get a debt of $5.5 trillion. I'm not making this number up. 5.5 trillion. People are losing their jobs. I was speaking to Davita today. They're not hiring black folk. They're trying to make it hard for you so you'll go work in those fields. We got crops that are dying because you have no one out there to work. You're talking about going to a hotel on a trip, and the hotels don't have a lot of hospitality workers because the Hispanic people don't want to come to work because they're afraid of deportation. What is happening in our country right now is more important to me than somebody talking about me and telling me I'm not Wanda's real friend. I know what it is. Wanda know what it is. But what is happening right now to folk that's going to be hungry, they're cutting SNAP for children. SNAP has never been for adults. Food stamps have been to help feed the children, and they're cutting that. So I'm telling you right now, if this bill passes, and I thank God that the Democrats jumped in and said, we want to read this bill page by page. Baby, let me tell you what's going on in case you're not a political bird. Two Republicans that already jumped ship from the Republicans on letting their constituents lose Medicaid, letting their constituents lose food stamps, and they white. We just need one more Republican, one more to go against this bill. And then they can begin to negotiate. 9 o'clock today, it will start. They will go reading this thing line for line. They will be amending, changing things in this bill. Trump, the higher court, is knocking it back down to the lower court. The lower court is denying things that Trump is trying to do that's not civilized. And I don't want you to think I don't have food stamps anymore. It's hard. In reality, indeed, right. It's very hard. And I understand that. And I'm blessed that I'm eating, but guess what? I'm also blessed that I will help someone with no food. Can you say that? Can you say that you can get off the Marcella hate train for a minute and help feed your neighbor? And I'm not talking about your direct neighbor. I'm talking about somebody in need. Not no fees for no court fees. I mean, there are your neighbors that are hungry. That, I promise you, last year a woman was in Roses and I went in there to buy me some garden stuff. And she was buying different kinds of dog food. And I promised to God, I asked her, I said, what kind of dog you got? She said, I don't have a dog. She said, this is all I can afford. And she had a fruit cake, and she when she rang it up, she found out she couldn't afford the fruit cake. And I asked her, would you allow me to, let's go next door to Food Lion and please get what you need for the month, and I pay for it. I didn't have to know her name. I didn't need a thank you. That is my neighbor. People are doing things for money to eat. They're working side jobs. They're working from home. They're trying to help people taking care of older folk. Because guess what happens? If this bill passes, your grandmama and great grandmama and great aunts that's in nursing homes, they're going to be booted out of there because no nursing home is going to keep anybody for free. These are the things that we need to be concerned about. We don't need to be concerned whether somebody like me or not, because baby, I didn't get where I am being liked 24/7. If you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. Miss Wanda's thing was she gonna cook. I can't cook. But what I know I can do is not just write a check or send a cash app or a super chat, I get my hands dirty. What y'all don't know about me, I do go to um um churches and feed the homeless an hour a day, put an apron on, and I help put soup in bowls and cups. And guess what? I don't have to tell you everything that I do, but I am a woman who have seen people from where I'm from, New York City, have hard times. I have seen, like, an individual on drugs, taking, drugs online, um, you know, getting a little crack and putting it in their mouth. I'm not gonna sit up and joke a person like that, even though I could, because I got the video. I could, but y'all know that my son went through a similar situation. Thank God my son is still in rehab because he chooses to be. He chooses to turn himself around. So I don't joke about people that are addicts, people that can't get their hair done, so they got to get a Coolio style. I don't just talk about people, but I do want people to come over here and learn from me. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, you want to verify what I'm saying, go to Chat GPT. I went to church yesterday and I was sitting in that pew crying yesterday because I had to say, Father, I have sinned. Because I be thinking of some crazy stuff about people that I know that I can say. And when I'm saying something mean, I'm trying to break you. I'm being serious. I'm gonna tell you how I am. I'm trying to break you. But in church they was talking about loving your neighbor. They was talking about forgiveness. They was talking about all those things that I had put up on a shelf, not to forgive. Vengeance was mine. I didn't follow what I do know, and I'm a sinner. So I don't want y'all to leave my page. She's talking about God now. I'm talking about me. I am a sinner, but I know that I have compassion for people. Used to go, but the shelter closed down. Oh, we have a Methodist church right down the street from me. They go and pick them up on the bus. Do you know they bring them in at 6 a.m.? They have a shower. They have soap and showers, and people from the community go in there, and they got scratches. They give them band-aids. They don't give them no medicine. They feed them a breakfast, fellowship with them. They do a lunch, fellowship with them, give them dinner, and put them back on the bus. And they will make like bologna sandwiches with no cheese, just bologna and bread, so it don't spoil. They give them socks. They give them clothes that we contribute to the church. Instead of taking it to the King's Daughters or wherever, we give it to the church. If somebody is my size, they will give them my dress or whatever I donated. We have to help one another right now. Yes, let me read this. It's so hard already, and with the things getting higher, and the food, the light, the rent, the gas, the bills alone, thinking about how to pay for healthcare, I need all the information I can get to be able to survive. And that is true. But I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to tell you this right now. If you have credit card bills and your bills are getting higher, please don't pay them. Don't pay them, because you need to live day by day. You ain't got time to worry about what you owe Sears and JC Penney's. I'm gonna tell you something. You can pay them $2, and as long as you pay them something, $2, they got to mark down that you made that payment for the month. You're going to get a lot of blessings for that, and I believe I am. I believe I am. But still, with those blessings, I have to change, because just like the pastor said yesterday, works that's good without salvation is dead works. I got to know that I allow things to fester inside of me. Not get in my head, but fester. and then I come out swinging, and then when I'm swinging, people don't like it. When I'm saying something, because I'm going to tell you, and please record this. You do something to me, I'm going to research you. You call it docs. I don't, because docs mean that I have researched you and I have put your full name, address, phone number, license plates out. Sometimes that information helps me for future endeavors. And I have really tried to not do that. I don't share. Like, if Miss Wanda say I need Tay's address, I'm not going to give it to her. I'm not going to do that, because that's when I'm breaking the law. And I am a law abiding citizen, but I will cuss you out. I'm glad you're saying this, Marcel, because I was about to turn you totally off, because I just felt like things were getting out of control. And I've been a long time subscriber of yours from day one. And I appreciate that, Miss Tillman. I really do. But I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes, and I'm praying that God really have me moving forward. But sometimes I am human and I am a sinner, and I will slip and I will fall. But I do ask God for forgiveness. Good morning, everyone. I volunteer at the domestic violence shelters, and I also take clothing for women and children. Yes, I do that. So I told y'all that I'm asking everybody, anybody who can give me $5 Cash App for August 9th. And you can do it anonymous, or you can do it, I'll shout your name out, and I will also show you the receipt on the things that I bought. I am planning on paying for haircuts. I'm planning on paying the beauty shop, people to braid, children's hair. I plan on giving out book bags. And Miss Wanda, she knows about it. She told me she would, help and make a donation. um this will definitely help children. If you give me $5, $5, I don't get Cash App. So when you send me a Cash App, I know it's for the drive. I will videotape, of course. I will videotape when everything gets put up outside, but I cannot videotape the children. I'll show you the back of their heads and stuff like that. But I plan on helping single parents or foster parents help get school supplies for their foster kids and their siblings, if there's any at home. I'm doing a drive, and then all the extra stuff, I plan on donating it to a school. They have closed, and you can Google it. They have closed a lot of Virginia schools. Instead of having 30, 40 kids in the class, they plan on putting 50 children in the class. Everybody's parents cannot afford a notebook. I bought a lot of them already, but this will help me buy pencils, pens, and I want to give it to the schools, and I will put the receipt up here where you can see it. Um, I want to do more than what I usually do alone. Um, Ms. Blue said I volunteer every Saturday at the food bank, along with assisting those in need of SNAP benefits. Many times the food bank runs out of food, and not everyone needs are met, and that is so correct. Our food bank is going low, but I'm going to tell you something. If you got a canned food that's close to expiration, that's 1 month, take it to a homeless shelter. They'll cook it within 2 days. Even the homeless shelters, they're running out from being able to. And don't send me no Cash Apps now. Send it to me, like the end of July, the beginning of August, and baby, I will go live and take you shopping with me. With me, I want to do this because they're at the end of school this year. A lot of the teachers were asking for donations of crayons, colored pencils, for the end of the year, so that when they come back the next year, that they will have it. They're closing schools and building more detentions and prisons. And they think it's only just for us, but nobody thought that Project 2025 was going to affect Caucasian people. It has affected I don't even know where to tell you if my next generation, my grandkids, my great grandkids, are they gonna have a world that they can live in? But you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now, if you was to go in the subway, if you live in a city where you come out and you see homeless people on the street, and sometimes if you drop them, a 6 inch, just turkey and cheese, give them a sandwich, you will see they are so gracious because when I was down at the homeless shelter feeding these people that they go pick up, one lady told me how she ended up homeless. And I didn't cry in front of her, but baby, when I got in my car, the tears rolled down my eyes. She told me that she lost her husband and her daughter in a tragic accident, and she's never been able to get back online. She told me she had a $375,000 house that once her daughter and her husband passed away, everything was paid off. But she said, I don't want to sell it and I don't want to go back into the house. Therefore, I'd rather stay out on the street. You never know what people are going through. But if y'all go and do some rotations of y'all pantries, please, please drop these bags off the homeless shelter. It takes a quick chat GPT or Google to find out where these places are. And you just take, if you got 4 cans, it's worth the drive because your 4 cans added with somebody else's 4 cans. You have 4 cans of string beans, somebody have 4 cans of corn. They put it together and they make a soup. Something is better than nothing. And I know that we haven't even began to suffer as we are going to, okay? Because people are buying pows and getting plenty of bullets. I love helping people, and the smile on their face is worth $1,000,000. It is. Um, Miss Alicia, Keisha said, I'm a teacher in North Carolina. Schools are closing and combing. It's hard teaching 30 plus kids in a classroom, and it is. And they are now putting more kids in a new school that they're building in a classroom. They have also condensed. They're putting here we have kindergarten to second grade, and then you go from third to fifth grade. Now they're getting ready to put kindergarten and fifth graders all in the same school. It is just really, I think the little people should stay with the little people. I think the kindergarten, first grade, and second grade, they should all stay together. And then you're putting them with fifth graders and fourth graders, and they're going to be combining the lunch in the cafeteria. So they're going to put the kindergartens and the first grade and second grader in the cafeteria with fourth and fifth graders. And I just don't think that is right. But you know what? It shows that we need to stay in our children's lives, and now we need to get back to business because nothing is dumb over here. I'm very smart, but sometimes I get caught up now. I get caught up, I ain't gonna lie. So I want all y'all to take y'all cameras out right quick if you can, or come back to this video. Y'all hit my like button. I need y'all to know this. How long does fresh produce last? Apples last 4 to 8 weeks in the fridge. Avocados 4 to 7. Bananas 2 to 5. Room temperature. Blueberries 1.5, 1 to 2 weeks in the fridge. Broccoli 1 to 2 weeks in the fridge. Cucumbers 1 week in the fridge. Lettuce 7 to 10 days in the fridge. Y'all gotta know how to store your food so that you can have these things. Please take this and know how to store your food. Get those vacuum packed bags. It's time that we need to teach ourselves resources. Nobody's running to Red Lobster. You shouldn't be. You need to start stacking up your canned foods, your smoked meat or whatever. I have a lady who's going to be coming over here to teach me how to cook. Um, Thank you, thank you. Yes, and Nisi gets up here and she tells you about gardening. We ain't got time to banter and fight back and forth. We really need to get down to the nitty gritty because where I live, I'm starting to see a lot of things. People are running. Hey, Marva, Miss Bugs. Um, we really need to start helping one another, whether you like me or not. I want to be able to help. Even if you walk away and say, I still hate her. Well, at least I learned this today. Um, let me say, whenever they're doing to their fruits and vegetables now, they do not last, not a week. They were last that long if we were growing it ourselves. That's true because I got a lemon tree outside. Um, I want y'all to know that there's a lot of children being abducted, black children. And I need y'all to know that it's because of our melanin. Um, I want y'all to know that they don't want to give you health care. Yes, my husband cans fruits and okra, and I don't eat okra. Ugh. I learned a lot from Nisi and you and Tim gardening experience. Y'all gotta learn. And the stuff that you grow on yourself, there's a lot of empty shells in Indianapolis. There's empty shells here too. Arnett Jackson, it sure is. And thank God that I live in the suburbs that's next to the rural areas where farmers are out there giving you big tomatoes for 25 cents. They're just trying to get rid of some of the stuff. Yes. Yes, there's 32 girls. They're missing. We got to pay attention because this stuff is happening and people are worried about who like who, but we got 32 girls missing. We got some more girls missing. Get your fresh produce from a farmer's market. That's right. Do not buy it out of the grocery store. Grow it yourself. And y'all would not believe how you can just cut a potato in half, put it in the soil, let it root, and the potatoes will reproduce itself. Hey, beautiful traveler. Let me get to this story that I want to tell you because I want y'all to hear this loud and clear. I like this other girl who tell it, but wait a minute. Okay, I want y'all to know, and I verified this. Wait a minute. Section 8 shut down, okay, in Miami-Dade. For all you Florida people who live in Florida, Section 8 shut down in Miami-Dade. Over 77 million hold, thousands left waiting. Blogged, this is by Polygirls. If you're in Miami-Dade waiting for a Section 8 voucher, you might want to get comfortable. Your wait gets longer. The federal government has ordered that the county to stop issuing new Section 8 rental vouchers after uncovering a major loss in the budget. Then this is what I want to tell you. That major loss is somebody stole the money. Okay. Okay. Here's what went down. Let me take this down. Here's what went down. February, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, told Miami-Dade to freeze its Section 8 program after it was found to be 77 million short on funding. The county typically serves around 20,000 low-income renters with help from a $330 million budget from but raising the rent and flat federal funding created a perfect storm. As of the result, nearly 5,000 people stuck on the wait list haven't moved 1 inch in months, and the freeze could last well into 2025. It is the first freeze of its kind in 8 years from Miami-Dade, and it's affecting around 75 households per month who normally would receive new vouchers through natural programs turnovers. Officials said that the shortage was worsened then HUD denied Miami-Dade an inflation boost for next year, arguing rents had leveled off, but county leaders said the data didn't match reality, especially in the low income housing. Rents may be climbing as fast. This affects you. Anybody who's renting, your rent could go up. Your rent can go up. Miami Dade, Indianapolis, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Norfolk, okay? Rent may be climbing. Um, but for now, only people already in the Section 8 program will continue getting help. New applicants, even if qualified, are locked out until funding returns. Vouchers tied directly to housing units are still active, but tenant-based vouchers that follow the renters are frozen. Now, let me tell you something. They got this money. They ain't got this money for these vouchers, but they got that money for what? The Alcatraz, Everglade alligator prison. They got that money for the prison, but they ain't got that money for people that's homeless. Okay. Um, they closed taking Section 8 and they're not taking any new applications. He had cut Medicaid, which I'm fighting at the moment. And this is what I'm telling you. Our neighbors, which are the subscribers on this page, our neighbors, there is people who need help and don't want to say, listen, can you just help me with $25? Can you help me with groceries? Because we got people out here getting money to live off on sob stories. We got real people who are our neighbors right here that need money. $25 could help them with bread, bologna, and cheese, okay? Exactly, Renee. And all these distractions, we don't pay attention. Okay, let me see. Right, it's sad. The news station used to provide vital information and stories around the world. Now it's fake news. And I want to tell you something. You better look at, it's already happened last year in Indianapolis. The feds had to come in. So much money was missing. And guess who's getting rich? Governor D in Florida. Governor D. You got a lot of these governors that's right up there with Trump. These are the soldiers. Remember, the Bible says, now, look, I'm not a Bible thumper, but I do read the book, that there's going to be a 200 million man military. Trump is already trying to build that military with who? The insurrectionists, criminals. Like here, you can get a badge, you can get a badge, you can get a badge. We need to take down these black folks. Now, in case y'all didn't know, there was a big pop, 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 and some firefighters got laid down. Now, they're coming out with the story that the police and the FBI and everybody went up there to see who was doing the sniper, who was doing the pop, 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 pop. How about we don't have a description of him? When we don't be getting descriptions, you know they ain't black. Because if they was black and they was doing this, you gonna have Jerome Brown, birthday August 15, 1989. This blah, 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 blah. We're not getting any of that. And I'm going to tell you now, they are not attacking the inner cities yet. They're trying to clean up all on the outside. So that means black and brown people can't help each other. And they're ostracizing us by us losing our jobs. And they know, the government knew this in the 60s. In the 60s now, and this is what I can tell you. In the 60s, when they put drugs in our neighborhoods, they wanted us to kill each other off. If we didn't kill each other, they wanted us to kill ourselves by taking the drugs and becoming addicts. And I want you to know, when you're like sending your children to school, they're not there to really teach your children on a higher education. They're there to train their minds to be workers, not owners of businesses. They want you to be programmed to come to school at 8 o'clock, programmed to leave school at 2 o'clock, programmed to go home, eat, take your bath, and go to bed. They want you to be programmed. But sometimes we got to think outside the box. And thinking outside the box is making sure that your neighbor is taken care of. You got to make sure that you help somebody. Help somebody doesn't mean giving them money. Help could be in your neighborhood. You catch the transit to work and you see the same homeless person laying there on the street. A bag of chips, celery with peanut butter, warm socks. Come on. It's like rich is getting rich. Yep. Rich is getting rich and the poor is getting poor. And I am with the poor getting poor. Okay. I want y'all to know that. If you got a job, please look into getting a home from Habitat for Humanity. The mortgage would be cheaper than rent. Okay. I am currently offering resume services for $50. I usually charge $200. And you know what? There are people I know that reached out to Davita Jane and she has helped them. So her website is Work From Home Queen. I don't know if that's the one that you want to use, but I'll let you come up here and talk. So true. Marcella, I'm 65 and you are speaking the truth. I remember those days. So now again, what they're trying to do is make sure we don't have any allies from the outside. They got to strategically go in Compton, the Bronx, Harlem to get them. Right now, they ain't doing too much with them. But what they're trying to do is shrink, you know, the people around. And I'm telling you, white folks is getting caught up. So it's not a black and white thing. It is absolutely a rich and poor thing. And we all po, according to them. I am so ready for the new doors to open in Jesus' name. Yes. Yes. Because I'm starting to get worried because I'm here. And when people are hungry, what they gonna come and do? They gonna go to the people that they think got water, toilet paper, and stuff that they need, and what? They might force their way into your home. Y'all, please go to the Work From Home Queen. I'm gonna give you a donation when we get off of here. Davita, I thank you for offering this service for $50. I know you usually do it for 200, but I want to thank you for helping people. And please put your Cash App up here so that I can help because I know having your services used to be $200 and now you're doing it for $50. That's helping your neighbor. That's what you call, hey, Aquarius. That's the gym man of the house, honey. Yes, y'all, please put, okay, that's, if you want to give Davita $5 or $10, listen, she's doing something. She finds you the job. She does your resume. She drops jobs that you can apply for that you can do at home. Like some of the teachers are not 12-month employees. Some teachers are just 9 months in school. But let me tell you something. One of the teachers told me that she applied to work for the summer school to make sure that she had money all through the year. And she told me that they didn't select her. She been a teacher for 17 years. She said that they put the teachers' names in a basket and reached out and pulled teachers' names. You understand what I'm saying? So she needs the money because she got to pay light, gas, water. People are struggling. People that you would not think is struggling. DJ Body Oils, please, y'all, if y'all could drop $5 or $10 in her Cash App, I would greatly appreciate it because I'm telling you that I know personally that she has helped people get jobs and did spectacular resumes, and people were able to get good government jobs now. I want to bless her today. Marcella, I know you got people in the Bronx that when the thunder hit, and yes, these people are ready. See, they forget that everybody didn't go get a blicky and registered it. They got AKs. They got to start waiting. You come into the right neighborhood, you got boys up there on the roof. They ready to go to work, okay? Um our seasonal teachers, people who, I'm gonna tell you something. I can show you my bill. My electric bill was $770. That's because Tim leave the light on. This, I don't know. We put extra lights outside. I don't know what's going on. But my bill was $770. And you know what? They give us 30 days to pay the entire bill. In the area I live in, they're saying you shouldn't have to make arrangements. You got to pay that bill. I'm so scared if I don't pay my bill the day it comes to me, that they might turn your lights out. We got a guy that got his whole entire yard is full of roses. He didn't pay his water bill. They turned his water off. They didn't give him like an extension because he didn't call for one. They didn't tell him, listen, pay half now, pay half later. They turned his water off. They're saying that we're not going to let you as a consumer put us in debt because you can't pay your bill. So when you get the money and come and pay the bill, we'll turn your water back on. His roses are wilting. Okay. Do you know that some of his neighbors took their water hose from each side and pulled their water hose with a sprinkler just to help him water the grass? We have older people around here. I'm not lying. Please, please be mindful. There are people scamming. Listen, they will call you from Con Edison. That's New York. They'll call you and say, listen, we did not receive your payment. Now, you know good and well you done made your payment online. You got your receipt. But they'll call you and say, your bill was $200. We did not receive your payment. If you don't pay today, we're going to turn it off. Well, since you're late, we want you to pay by Cash App. No, baby. And they will have Con Edison number right on their phone. It would be Con Edison. But no, you know what you do? You immediately hang up and you call your electric company, your cable company. You call these people yourself. Um, you they got me one time with Netflix. Netflix called me and said my bill wasn't paid. Not me thinking that my granddaughter set it up for automatic payment. And guess what? I had to go get a new bank card. I got scammed. Wow, Gail, but 45 then closed the White House. They'll probably in the bunker. Yep. I'm not sure in the 60 era, but Trump took way back. Yep. Latoya says my mom gas bill went from 50 to 70 a month to 300. I had them come out to see if there was a gas leak. The therms went up on all utilities. I'm telling you, we got fraudsters. We even got the government frauding us. Baby, do what you need to do before it gets really dark. And I'm going to tell you what will save you money. Instead of turning on your lights that is up in your ceilings, get a lamp. Lamp, whatever you're not using. If you're not using your toaster, your coffee maker, and your stuff, you need to unplug everything that you're not using. It will cut down your bill. Yeah, why he put up all those barriers around the White House and because he know people are out there to, you know what they plan they gonna do. They want the president to take a dirt nap. But the electric company has lost its mind. Everybody is complaining on how high it is. I don't know how they expect people to live. That's why I said we got to help our neighbors. See, where I'm from in Harlem, we used to close off our block and we would have a block party. So Maria would make this, Nina Mama would make this, somebody would make plantanos, the old people. And guess what? We shared our food back in the day. Teachers can teach online overseas, teaching English. Yes, beautiful traveler, correct. Thank you, Marcelo, for always keeping us in the loop. I get calls from scammers all the time. It's crazy. Be mindful. If your bank called you and say, look, you have some fraud in your bank account, can you give me your access number? No. You hang up and you call the bank. Everyone have a good day. Hey, Sassy Brown. Thank you. Y'all hit my like button. Yes, the government is corrupted. All lamps are good. Yes. It is harder to get a government contract or government grant for your business. It is very hard. They don't even want to give it to you. They're advertising they'll give it to you, but be careful about on YouTube, be careful about on Instagram, putting your information on these things that's saying that they can help you with a government contract. No, sir. No, not. Don't do it. I need battery operated fans, all lights. Yeah, I bought my husband the other day, y'all, this hat, and it has a little solar up top. And when he goes out there in the garden, the sun makes the fan cut on while he's out there in the solar. So let's are also searching for five missing teens. Police are also searching for 5 missing teens, all who disappeared within the last 24 hours. 3 left a group home on Old Waynesboro Road. 14-year-old Caitlin Anderson, 17-year-old Tramika Thomas, and 16-year-old Gabrielle Brennan were last seen around midnight. Thomas and Brennan have ankle monitors. In a separate case, deputies are looking for 13-year-old Jordan Tuggle and her sister, 16-year-old Janiyah Tuggle. They may have left together and were last seen around 7 last night on Winston Way. If you have any information, call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. I'm telling you, their children are coming up missing in Georgia. I don't know about Georgia and Ohio, but children are coming up missing. Listen, back in the day, my mom used to say, go outside and play. Nobody's going outside to play. People are coming and taking your kids, and you got to be cautious. Like my granddaughter would tell you, if somebody was to walk up to her and say, hey, your mama told me to bring you, my granddaughter is not going to do that. But I'm not going to let my granddaughter be walking around nowhere either without a parent and an adult and a blicky. Put trust in God is so important. Let me tell you something. I am a sinner, okay? I am a sinner. But I trust in the Lord for everything. Trust in the Lord for my son's sobriety. Trust in the Lord that, I got 7 houses in inventory. I need to sell them. Let me tell you something. When I watched Real Housewives of Atlanta last night, I saw that Angela Oakley had to give up those homes, but she didn't really give up the homes, y'all. They just reduced the price of the homes to get rid of them. But then I looked at what I got for inventory and said, oh my God, I got to get up today. I got to go out. Look, I'm dressed up. I got to get out and go hustle and get rid of these houses I got in inventory because we buy, flip. And then I got 7 sitting. So if I got to reduce the price for people to get in, I don't care if their finance go through and they can afford it, they can have it. I need to get rid of that. Hit the like button, y'all. New York City, give away free lunch to all children in New York City. That's right. I saw that they're all in Augusta, Georgia. Yes. Y'all, this is where trusting and praying to God, because see, God is definitely a healer, and God has did miracles in my life, and I know that He is real. But you don't know that devil's workshop is an idle mind. When people don't have anything to do, now, like I'm not preaching to you, I'm telling you my own experience. Idle mind is a devil workshop. So if I get up and say, I'm not going to go to work today, I'm not going to do nothing today, and I sit here and think about how to get back at people that was trying to get at me. But then today I woke up and said, Lord, please take that from me. I'm asking in Jesus' name, take that from me for being, trying to get back. And I want to tell you that, honest God, I don't worry about that lawsuit. That's what I paid them for. That's what I pay a lawyer for. I don't worry about that. I'm worrying about my neighbor being hungry. Now, I want to tell you something. Y'all know that the White House is shut down. Let me tell you what happened. Listen to this. Well, let me tell you. Oh, that's music. That's music. A Mercedes Sprinter van. Boom, boom. in Washington, D.C. today, sending thick black smoke into the sky and triggering a major emergency response. The blast happened just blocks from federal building in the heart, oh my God, in the heart of the city. What's in the heart of the city, y'all? The White House. At this point, it's unclear whether the explosion was caused by mechanical failure or an accident or something more intentional. Authorities are investigating, but no official cause has been released yet. And listen to this. Oh, let me tell you something. I don't know what's going on out there. But baby, last night I was sitting on the deck and I seen some bugs I've never seen in my life. Big, like flying bugs. I mean, big. I was like, what is that? And my husband took his cane and crushed it. And I don't know if the thing was pregnant or what, but we got bugs out there that I ain't never seen before in my 60 years of life. Y'all, we need to be prayed up. Is this the locust? Is this the locust coming? I mean, y'all, the Bible tells us all of this. Sit back and read instead of watching Love and Marriage Huntsville or Real Housewives of Atlanta. Learn what's going on around us. Renee, they sure do. One payment. If you split it, a fee added. I constantly trying to think of ways to stay at least one step ahead. I try not to get scared. Listen, I'm getting word prayers. That's what we have to do. Don't get scared. That's why I'm saying I want to make a community over here. If you need help, go in the DM and tell somebody you need help. Can you spare 5, 10, 20, $25 for me because I need help? Listen, I can't help everybody, but I will help people that I know need help. If I could just give you something, I will help. And guess what? Never mention it. Never mention it. Dear Reed, can you come up? Can you come up with me for me? Dear Reed, can you come up and just explain some of the things that you do in the community or where people can go and get resources, please? I want people to get resources. Hey, Tanya. Um, I just dropped the link. Tanya had dropped the link, but that's the link to Davita Jane. Because I want to every day. I can't get there every day, y'all, because I be working. All right, this good, dear Ree. Dear Ree, can you please tell? Because you know what I do notice too? We have parents who have children with mental health and they're struggling because they're worrying about bills and they're worrying about their children's health and they're worrying about Medicaid being gone. Can you tell me some things that you do in your area?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. For me, just a little backstory. I am a parent of two children with special needs, and now they're young adults. But what you have to do is first you have to be an actual advocate for your children, because in schools you may find one or two people, but you need to advocate for your children. When you begin to see signs, let's say I'm between Florida and Georgia. I'm kind of like a dual resident. But if you're in Florida, depending on where you live, let's say your child has an IEP, or if your child doesn't have an IEP, you can go to what's called Child Find and Early Steps, where and this is in Tampa. North Florida is a little different, but anywhere like middle Florida, Central Florida, or South Florida, you want to begin to. There's a lot of programs out there that can test your children, their cognitive. Um, and what you want to do is begin to go and Google. Google can be your best friend. You can Google, you can go to the school districts. What you want to understand in Florida, if you have an IEP or 504 or anything for your child, let me explain to you. That is almost better than $1 million. It's the holy grail. The IEPs and the 504s, if you ever have an issue and you need someone to advocate for you in Florida, it's called Federations of Family. I've had to go to bat with superintendents, school school districts. But if you're in Georgia, Georgia's a little tricky because they don't just put all the information out. But what I want you guys to understand, if you live in Georgia, and I had to learn the hard way, Georgia is a state where, let's say your child is being bullied. I don't know if we can say that on here, but being bullied.
Yeah, you can say it.
Okay, being bullied. If your child, my son, I'm giving you experience that I've had. My son was not a fighter. A child came and struck my son from behind. The coach seen it. My son retaliated to defend himself. Do you know in the state of Georgia, because I didn't deal with this in Florida, but in the state of Georgia, both your child and the child, even though the child was defending themselves, will have to deal with juvenile court. Hey, I had to pay a $50 fine, my child and the coach. And all the resource officer had to do was to send a letter and state, hey, this is what happened. And do you know that resource officer did not? He did not. So if you live in the state of Georgia, anybody knows that your child, even if you, and I think it, not even Georgia, Texas too, because my friend lives there. If your child is defending themselves, they still will get in trouble as well. But what I want to say to any of you, we have to be our children advocate. We have to go. If you don't know, come to me, DM me, Instagram. I am a wealth of knowledge. Whatever I don't know, I can find. I'm studying to get my private investigator license, and my child just graduated his senior year, all A's and B's. And like I said, he has an IEP. So when it comes to your children, don't leave it up to the schools or to the teachers to make sure your children have what they need. So if you're in the state of Georgia or Florida, and whatever I don't know about Texas, I have friends there. But do not think that if your child's in a private school or a chartered school or what, my children was in chartered school when they were in Florida. And charter schools, sometimes they still have to govern by the law, the school district. Certain things they still have to govern by. If you have any questions, just please ask me. I don't want to take up too much time, but if I can pivot just from the school, when it comes to, I like what you were stating about like shelters and different things. I used to take all my belongings to Goodwill, and I stopped doing that because they're making a profit off of my stuff. So what I do now, I make sure like my young men clothes, when they get too big, stuff they didn't even wear because of COVID, they had brand new clothes that they didn't touch, that we didn't go nowhere.
Right.
So for me, I just feel like we as a people, not just black, white, or whatever, we have to start working together in our communities, because like we just had our mayoral vote, because there are still voting going on in your areas. So you guys have to, and I'm gonna say this, and I said this to my husband. We had a black candidate. We just voted June the 17th. A black candidate. I no longer vote because you're Democrat and you're black. I vote based on what you are running for, because there are a lot of our own people that sends us food, serves us food, goals, and then you change. So you have to really do your research, because it's getting to the point now that state and local, and that's also with medical. Anyone that doesn't have medical insurance, depending on where you're at, you can go to these. I don't know what they call them, clinics, but they will. Sometimes you pay nothing, but it goes off your income, a sliding scale. Also, with me, you can go to these pharmaceutical companies that have medication and get on their patient assistance program, where you get the medication for free. They send it to you. So there's a lot of, just because the federal, and I'm gonna say allegedly, are not helping, there are state programs. There are programs in your city that will help you pay for your medical. You can go, like hospitals have indigent programs where you can apply and your medical bills are paid for. There's a lot of ways to get the help. So it doesn't always have to come from food stamps, Medicaid, and those things, because there are different programs in your city, in your state, that will help you pay for your medication, your anything you need. You know, anything. I'm gonna say this to you, Marcella. I am on the same journey you on. That's why sometimes you see me pop my head. I'm trying to work on myself
Yeah.
because it is hard when people come at you. But where I'm at in life, I don't care what someone says unless you say something about my children or someone I love. I'm a counterpuncher. Don't let the look fool you. So if you come over to my channel or you say something about like last night when old girl or whoever that was saying what they were saying to you, I kept trying to hold back because I really, care for you. I don't
Hmm.
have to know you or spend time with you. I watch you. I watch your mannerisms. And at the end of the day, I could have listened to what people used to say about you, but I learned you on my own.
Thank you.
So for me, I totally understand what you're saying. That it's hard to close your mouth because my grandfather used to tell me, God rest his soul. He's like, "You gonna talk or you gonna die?" I said, "Well, I might as well gonna die because you know that's just me." But
Yeah.
I'm getting to a point in life where I have eliminated. When I say I'm down to good one good friend, but I talk to people. But when I feel someone is taking energy away from me that I need, I go ahead and pass you by. So for me, I'm covering love and marriage because for the last year or two, I didn't want to because I just didn't like the dynamic. But now I am going to cover it. So
Yeah.
I've already told people, do not come to my channel unless we're talking about music, and I don't want to say her name, but unless we're talking about that, I don't want to talk about. I'm talking about the people on the show. If you're
Right.
not on the show, I'm not talking about you. And if you come in and you say, "Oh, well, this person did this," I'm not going to say one word. I'm just going to delete you.
Right. And that's what I plan on doing, just talking about the people on the show. And most time when her name come up, the people, the subscribers bring it up. And I'm going to ignore that.
Yes, but I really appreciate everything that you do. I'm on your second channel, dropping gems, and I can't wait till you really, start because for me, everything that I've done in my life when it comes to my children is first God led me. I've had more help from strangers than my family. So for me, and people come in different shapes, forms, colors. So, you just have to listen to that first voice. When a person tell you who someone like that spirit be like, get away from them. You need to pay attention to that because God is trying to steer you. But what I'm saying is I've been in this race for over 20 years with education with special
Hmm.
needs. I didn't know anything. And
Yeah.
when I started way back then, there was no different groups. You had to learn how to maneuver through the school system. And I'm going to tell you now that parents, you have to be careful with a lot. And I'm saying this is my experience. Be careful because some people take this mandate reporting in school seriously, and sometimes they try to run your household and call CPS and a lot of things.
Yeah.
So
To get your kids, because your kids is money for them.
exactly. And people don't understand that the IEP programs and the 504s, you guys, when you don't have to sign anything. If they send something to you and they want you to come to a meeting, you sign back and make sure you go to that meeting. I'm going to tell you why. Because schools get money for every student. I had a school tell me that my child wasn't eligible for virtual assistance because they couldn't fund having the teachers. I said, hold up, let me pull my bylaws out, which is every time you go to a meeting, you get this they have to give you these policies and procedures. And because I'm well educated on what my rights are, they called me back in a day and said, oh, guess what, he was approved because the money that your school gets for your child is paying the teachers, paying the special the speech and language teachers. So don't let them think that don't let them tell you that they're not getting money. I would never. And then I'm gonna tell you in an IEP meeting too, you can request that everybody that has lays hands on your child, teaching them all the way to anyone, they have to come to that meeting or they have to ask you, can they not show up? And you could tell them no, they have to show up. You
Hmm.
have to know that you're in control of that meeting. But I don't want to take too much of your time. If you guys
Thank
have
you.
children with
Y'all,
light,
please go see Dear Reed talk. Please go to her page because this is the kind of things that she's helping people because it's so funny that a lot of our kids are coming up artistic. And it's the shots, which I'm getting ready to talk about that real briefly. About the shots your kids are getting. My daughter opted out to not get those flu shots, not to get the HVP shots. These things make your children sterile. I want to tell you, beautiful traveler said that the Arlington Mission, they give you free clothes that are donated to them. And if you have cancer in your house can be cleaned for free. These are things that we need to be sharing and utilizing. We can be, just for the mess, but we can also be people that give people hope and resources as well. I thank you, dearie.
you're welcome.
Oh, I'm sorry. I cut her off so fast. I'm sorry. But listen to this. A compliant child must take between 69 and 92 vaccines to stay in school in some states. And not one of them, none of these shots have been safely tested in pre-licensing placebo-controlled trial. And that is just malpractice. So the people who are in charge of that now are gone. They put this clown who is not a medical doctor. Listen, they pressing and pressing for our kids to take these shots. We need to be careful about our children taking these shots. I need y'all to know you got some important people speaking up on our behalf. Look.
Progressive Republicans have done so much damage to Americans. Here are the 5 truly harmful things that they passed in the last 2 days. All right, number 1, they passed their budget that will add trillions to the national debt and cuts almost $1 trillion in healthcare. So where's all the spending go? The vast majority of the spending goes to tax giveaways to the wealthiest people in America. Number 2, they passed the SAVE Act, which will make it harder for millions and millions of Americans to vote. Instead of making it easier to register to vote, they're making it harder for people to register to vote, particularly women and those serving abroad. If your driver's license does not match your birth certificate, like many married women, it could block you from voting altogether. Number 3, in the middle of all of the chaos around the tariffs and the market crashing, they passed a bill, literally passed a bill to endorse the tariffs and to strip Congress's power to curb the president's tariff authorities in any way. Number 4, they passed a bill stripping the power of federal judges. What this bill does, because all of these federal judges have been ruling against Trump because what they're doing is unconstitutional. So instead of complying with the Constitution and the law, this bill would undermine federal judges and limit their rulings to their local jurisdiction. These are federal judges ruling on federal matters. Number 5, this is one of the cruelest things that they've done. They passed a bill to jack up overdraft fees intentionally. So on your worst day, you can't pay all your bills, you overdraw your account. Now your fee could be $100. They eliminated the cap on overdraft fees. Why? For the same reason they're passing this budget, so the people at the top make more money. The only way we're going to stop this is to get a few Republicans to join us. A few in the Senate, a few in the House, that's it. So we need all of the voices we can to help shift public opinion so that we can get the support we need to end this craziness. In the last 48 hours.
This is over the weekend. While we're in pools at the beach, talking about people fighting with your neighbors, they're passing bills. While we're paying attention to the verdict for Diddy, all these crimes is being committed, people who have deleted people walking, not being convicted. Now they got us Black people involved with the young man that has the name of the basketball player and what's his name? We're paying attention to what they're doing to this young man, which we should, but we need to watch what's going on right in front of our faces. We need to watch out what's going on. We need to help one another. I need people like you guys to help me stay on track. I'm asking you, help me stay on track. I'm just gonna not be in, showing up in people's chats and saying hello chat, because I want people to focus on the content creator and not Marcella. I'm gonna really try, because I really don't care what people say about me. I could care less, y'all. Y'all just do not know who I is. You know what? Every day I get up and do videos, dancing, doing stuff to try to keep my mind just on God and on, just getting relief from me. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna get up off of here. I want y'all to hear this and share this.
We have breaking news right now. The Senate bill cuts more Medicaid than the House bill. According to the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, the Senate budget reconciliation bill cuts $930 billion from Medicaid. According to Senate Finance Ranking Committee member Ron Wyden, he issued a statement just now after the CBO issued its preliminary analysis, saying while Republican senators are securing baubles and trinkets for their political donors, the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office has confirmed that the Senate bill will cut $930 billion from Medicaid. Now, the House bill cut less than that. The House bill cut about $700 billion from Medicaid. The Senate bill, if this passes, will cut more than $900 billion, close to $1 trillion in Medicaid cuts. And that does include other cuts to the Affordable Care Act and elsewhere that will impact America's healthcare system. This is significant. Spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack, linked in bio, so subscribe for free. And as always, follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. I'll have much more to come very soon. We have break.
Y'all, if you can, start eating live food. I don't know if you ever heard this. Live food keeps you alive more. Change your diet, eat healthy. Davita Jane is a person with resources on how you change your diet. All weekend, me and my husband made it a seafood weekend, broiled, baked fish, stuff like that. You got to find out vitamins that can help you if you got high blood pressure, things that you can do to bring down your blood pressure, because one day your medication may not be there. You got to alleviate stress. You cannot, that helps with your bring up your blood pressure. You got to take out the things that's not essential in your life. And I'm going to come back today. The things that's not essential, get rid of it. Get it out your mind. Pay your bills. Living foods are amazing. Listen, I will come back. I will talk about this. But I just want y'all to know from my mouth, if any other content creator is beefing with the bloggers, I'm not in that. If I'm in it, y'all know when I'm in it. I come here and I click my button. I go off and delete it. That's what I do. But I'm going to try to stay on this because, like I said, I woke up today. I got properties I got to get rid of. I got stuff that I need to get my house in order. Get your house in order. And we're going to talk about it. I love you all. Hit my like button. Share my video. I will be coming back with content on my other page that tells you about, finances. And I'm going to try to do that today. I get a little break after I got a couple of meetings. I get a little break. I'm going to come back and go straight to that page. So y'all just be checking. And I'm going to let y'all see where to go subscribe it right now. It's Dropping Gems and Building Communities podcast. Here it goes.
Drop the gems. Nothing
right. I love you. I see y'all this evening. I promise. All right.